Last time, on whatever this series is called.
They don't have that many heals available, and Gork will take ages to get down there. She needs to get out of that room. The turrets fire away, but for every nibbler they take out, two more seem to take its place. Hikensha is down, Mitzi down as well, and with a sour taste in her mouth, Rakia decides to stay where she is. Gork has no idea what to do. Butcher Karosa in all his glory breaks to his manly knees, and even if he had one more heal. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The early game is over and we are going to pick up the pace a little bit here. The time for explanations and introductions is over and there are only 4 teams remaining to duke it out, and we are very excited to see what's going to happen next.
Well, hopefully a lot of solid, crisp gameplay, and only the very best our teams have to offer.
Right now our heroes charge in, and I kinda like that Tarosh and Opbot ended up with Max and Dina here, basically adopting one of the other teams, which of course was brutally eliminated on the very first floor by what has come to be called the infamous Triple Leaper.
Indeed, that is so tough to deal with so early on, and while Max and Dina are both decent characters, they are quite fragile and do not shine in close combat. But maybe they can prove their worth now as backup for Tarosh and Opbot here, who seriously need to find an artifact and start spending all those research points.
Well, they should be able to do that eventually. In the meantime, Josh and Nano are deciding to go for the Dust Forge here. Always nice as long as it doesn't backfire. They are still looking for a 4th team member. It's so important to get a full team running for all sorts of reasons. Denying spawning in dark rooms, operating, straight up killing stuff. You don't want to leave a spot open like that.
Right, but they have been doing exceptionally well up until now, and Nanor hasn't even unlocked his cooking with gas ability yet. And there he is, Ken Masoki, an exceptionally well-suited addition for this team. That is exactly the kind of character they were probably wishing for.
Absolutely, I couldn't think of anyone better suited to help them out here. The only downside here though to consider is that Ken here only is level 1, so he will have to invest a significant amount of food here to make up for that, but once he's up to par, he'll definitely help out a lot.
Speaking of, Ken and Delaria are also still looking for a 4th team member, and while they didn't have a lot of trouble in the first 3 floors, apart from that spectacular last moment turret scene last floor, they are falling a little bit behind regarding economy, or research to be exact, because while they were able to get out those food and industry level ups, they still have to work with level 1 science modules, and you can see here how much of a deal that is, as they feel like they have to throw down 3 science modules right away. And that is of course nothing you'd want to do, and 2 of these modules could produce almost the same amount with only 1 upgrade.
Well, that's not actually efficient, but this game tends to trick you into thinking it's all about efficiency, but that's not really the case. Using food to heal might not have a lasting effect the way a level up for your character has, but looking back and remembering all those early dropouts, a lot of that could have been avoided with a few extra turrets after all, so being efficient is obviously not as important as being effective here.
Okay. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, apparently we're experiencing a little bit of technical issues here. We do not have any footage of Rakia and Elise at the moment. It is to be worked on, and we will sort it out.
That was unexpected. Well, I just got word from the tech department, and Rakia and Elise are in fact still alive and participating, but for some reason, which is yet to be discovered, we have no eyes on them.
Great. Let's just hope they can survive until we fix this then.
Now in the meantime, Tarosh and Opbot encounter yet another version of Rakia here in the dungeon, but they will most likely not choose to switch out someone here. At the moment, everybody operating while Tarosh acts as the door opener, and as long as they don't run into any real danger here, they should be able to churn out a massive amount of extra resources that way.
Right, and on top of that, they still have a considerable amount of dust left to spend on new rooms, so that should actually give them quite an edge here. Dina Ratchet, of course, not as talented as Max or Opbot when operating, but obviously every little helps.
That is so true, but at the same time, most characters who can operate are also weaker fighters. And I mean, Josh and Nanor could take this to yet another level because, I mean, think about it. Josh and Mormish are the only characters in the whole game with the Armchair General ability. So on level 1 it provides plus 40 attack to every other hero as long as they are in a room without monsters. Now stack that and you have plus 80, but only for the 2 remaining characters, right? Now Ken on the other hand brings yet another ability to the table. Sado Selfish allows him to increase his attack by another 50 if alone in the room. Could you even imagine what that would look like? I really want to see that.
I hear you. Now apparently we have some news regarding Rakia and Elise, and right now we are switching to Chief Engineer Matt Gambler, who is working on the problem right now. Can you hear us?
What? Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Matt, first of all, can you see Rakia and Elise from a position? Are they still going?
Yeah. They are running around and shooting stuff.
Great. Now, were you able to identify the problem?
Yeah, it's really... I mean, some idiot forgot to press record. I think I should be able to fix that.
I see. So how long will it take you approximately?
Well, it would be quicker if you could just let me do my job, alright? I mean, I'm not as pretty as you guys, just let me deal with it.
Okay, but thank you so much for your help.
Whatever, kid.
Alright, so this issue will hopefully be sorted out pretty soon. In the meantime, Ken and Juliari have encountered Rakia again.
Yeah, she seems to be all over the place.
Not a bad addition either, but she has yet to be hired. Maybe the team wants to wait a little longer to see if they meet someone else, so they can actually choose who they want to take with them into the next floors.
Could be. Or they just don't have enough food yet. Rakia here quite high level, so it will take a bit more to persuade her.
Right, Troy and Ken making short work of that bastard in the meantime, still leaving Yuleri in the back for maximum dust efficiency, as that greedy lady of course reduces the mob's drop rate.
Oh, now do you see that? That's the first of the fuggliest. I always wanted to say that.
And I take it that's also its official name?
Yeah, I just love those names they came up with. I mean, the fuggliest is really dangerous, but I still have to laugh about it. But in fact, those fugly creatures can pose a serious threat, even though it didn't look like it a moment ago, but they don't attack the old-fashioned way. They just wander about, and once they decide it's time, they just grow bigger and bigger and then blow up, and I can tell you that is not a fun thing to witness when standing in the same room.
I guess so. Now in the meantime, Acceptage and Opat still have no trouble gaining enough dust to power everything, even encountering another dust merchant right now, always nice to have one of those around. But at the same time, they are still sitting on their research points, 254 by now.
I'm not sure if I ever had that many research points.
I know, right? Well, but it perfectly demonstrates how different each run can be.
Exactly. Josh and Nanor have accepted Ken into their group by now, and he is so much better at opening doors than Nanor, higher DPS and higher mobility. Oh, and look at that, the first Holy Roller has arrived. Let's see if Ken can prove his worth here. Obviously no problem here. The Holy Roller is some sort of mage, by the way, and will debuff heroes in the same room. But yeah, Ken made sure we didn't see too much of him. Also, I have absolutely no idea where that name came from.
Too bad, I'm actually curious. Now the teams should be finished exploring this floor pretty soon, and this could actually be the first floor without a team going down.
Don't jinx it. We still have to check back on Rakia and Elise after all.
Right, but... what is he doing? Troy leveling up for a little bit of extra DPS, but we all should still remember Skroig and Ayari after all. That is just not what you should do.
And he gets the payback right away, but as long as they pay attention now, they should still be fine, right?
What is he doing? Troy going back in, back out? Oh, that was a close one, and I think Ken and Yuleri should be on the way, but Rakia is still in there and no heals available. What are they doing?
Yeah, that's a very late reaction there. Can she actually make it? It doesn't take much anymore, and as soon as the pauses lift... Oh, wow, what an incredibly unnecessary blunder right there. That was so uncalled for. Ken coming in now and cleaning up the rest, but I mean, let's face it, they must feel like complete noobs right now.
Matt, you know me, and normally I would tell you how unprofessional that statement was right now, but I kinda see where you're coming from. These teams are of course no world champions, and there is a lot of pressure involved whenever participating in the tournament. They never went through any kind of qualifiers, but I have to say I'm quite shocked also because they were standing so strong until now. And then right there, nothing would have been easier than to just not leave Rakia in that room, fall back a little, reunite with Ken, but I guess the team's concentration just snapped there for a second. And as we know, a second is more than it takes at times. One wrong call and suddenly a solid team of 4 is turned into an insecure and broken shadow of a team. And I had such high hopes for them.
Whoa, let's not call it just yet. Yes, that was a huge mistake, but they are still going. They already found Nanor as a potential replacement, researching the emergency generator right now. They might have messed up, but they are not giving up just yet.
Well... whatever. I'll just let it go.
And meanwhile, in another dungeon, there is a brave group of adventurers, and guess what? They just found the artifact they wanted to find 18 doors ago. And you can see just how determined they are to finally get some more economy upgrades.
Wow, still a curious choice to skip all those other options. I mean, how many times did he reset just now? That must have been...
70.
Really?
Yeah, I just counted. They just spent 70 research points on resetting their options. Plus 46 makes an incredibly expensive food replicator upgrade. I know it's a little counterintuitive, but that's exactly why I like it. You know, remember our talk about effectiveness versus efficiency earlier? That's exactly what this is about.
I'm still pretty sure that many players would disagree with you here, but it is already done, and that was in fact the last door of the dungeon as well, so they only have to clean up this wave and then it is off to the next floor.
Oh, but not everybody's out of the woods yet. Ken and Troy here getting to know a lot of new friends at the same time. That is 4 waves in total right now. Heals go down, skills are being activated, and so much damage being dealt at the same time.
And it looks like it could be too much the last heal spent, but there are just too many enemies. A desperate pause, but without a real point, and Troy is down as Ken turns to run in panic before he gets ripped to shreds in the darkness. While Yulari realizes that even if she can clear this together with Nano, there are more enemies heading straight for the energy core.
But what other options does she have, really? She can either stay up there and watch the core explode or charge in, basically. I do know that I wouldn't want to switch places with her right now, and it really only is a question of time before the team is officially eliminated. And I really have to say, what was it? Getting ripped to shreds in the dark? That was some dark shit, man.
Why, thank you, man.
I'm sorry. 3 teams left, hopefully. It really is a shame that we couldn't see Rocky and Elise, but the guy behind the camera looks as if he knew they are still in the tournament. Yes, I see the thumbs up. So with that out of the way, Aseptarge and Uppot are finished fiddling with the Dust Merchant and will grab the crystal any moment now. And I love it when they do what I say.
Gosh, you're way too cheerful today, you know. Considering the layout, the team should have a rather straightforward run here. The way to the exit is almost fully lit, Max even blocking the room behind the energy core, but only for a second, which makes the whole positioning there a little pointless.
But the team doesn't care, as Uppot makes his little backwards moonwalk, which makes it a regular walk. I don't know, it was just the first thing I thought when I saw Uppot running for the first time.
Ahem.
All in all, yet another solid escape. Better?
Yep. Josh and Nanor also shouldn't have any problems here, powering almost the whole floor, and Ken is a lot quicker than the others, or would be if it wasn't for that poison cloud there. Still, they easily make it out, and neutral Elise waves goodbye before she is eaten by monsters.
And finally, look who the cat dragged in. Rakia, Elise, Yulari and the beautiful Gorg report back in, and they look as if they had a lot of fun in the meantime.
Right now our assistants are frantically analyzing every step to update the chart in time before we get to look at it in a moment.
But we should be able to observe a lot right now already. Science upgrade level 3 must have gone down, as well as the Tesla turret level 1. A surprising amount of hero level ups. I mean, I'm almost sure Yulari left the last row with level 3 and Gorg with level 2 even. So wow, going very strong, and this of course isn't a random team that returns here. These guys are finalists, 1 out of 3 teams that prove to be stronger, quicker, smarter, and of course a little luckier than the others. And Matt, I have to say by now I'm seriously excited to see which of those 3 teams can actually make it the furthest into the dungeon.
I like the way you put that, and yes, they definitely earned a bit of praise by now. Here we see them going straight into escape mode after opening the last floor, and as we can see, it works out just fine.
Good to have you back, Gorg and friends.
Oh boy.
Anyway, looking at the level progress, everyone really pulling the weight now, as of course everybody else just died off. And resource-wise, ladies and gentlemen, I think it would be smart to ignore the build order of Rocky and Elise here for now, because I think that can't really be right. I mean, they would have had to find so much random food to pull off that many level ups with only 1 food replicator.
Well, the chart shows only what we could see on screen, but even so, there is Rakia with her exceptional operating skills, Gorg with his sword and green ability, and Elise did operate as well when the connection was re-established, so maybe we just missed a second food replicator there.
Okay, in fact I just got word that the numbers are actually possible and correct, but the food replicator was built a little earlier after door 2. Now, let's look at research.
Well, Rakia and Elise are clearly leading the field economy-wise at the moment, more than doubling the progress of Aseptarge and Uppot, and they also unlocked the shop module already. Josh and Nanor follow close behind and actually also went for a notable amount of support modules, which are the Autodoc Shard level 1 and the Dust Field Generator level 3. Apart from that, there are some basic turret upgrades in the mix and Tear Gas level 1 for Rakia and Elise.
Nice. Now there's one more thing I probably should have asked earlier, but to our audience, do you actually care for this stuff, all those numbers and statistics? Because we are genuinely interested and small enough to actually read the comments, so let us know what you think and what you would want to see.
Especially one thing, would you rather prefer these episodes to be a little longer or a little shorter in the future?
Right, now we will be back with Floor 5 on, let's say, Wednesday, and for now, GLHF.
And thanks for watching.
I'm not gonna lie, my cough had become worse. And after almost a week we got raided again and Pablo got wounded quite badly. And we had no bandages, no painkillers. All we could do was splash some fucking moonshine on the wound 3 times a day, while Matei fed all our meds into that bottomless pit of a disease that was his father. So see you later, Mrs. Spider. As she's gone, of course, panic mode sets in and spastically shaking left and right helps us to break free and get away.